I love cons, but not huge spaces so much. I can do the smaller conventions and just kind of stay in the smaller spaces, but huge ones like Comic-Con, yeah, that's a no-go. So, imagine my dread when one of my best friends, Connor, said we were going to Behemicon. Yep, the very first of the biggest con in the worlds, held in no other place than the back rooms. Look, I get it. I mean, it's really impressive that human beings have been able to scope out enough of this unfathomable mystery dimension to be able to host an entire convention in it. But, I'm terrified. First off, it's literally the biggest liminal space ever. And second, well, I mean, it's the back rooms. Who knows what could go wrong? It took a while to admit that to, Connor and May, our other friend. We've all gone way back and have been attending conventions together for, years now. And on top of that, we were all avid horror fans and often had movie nights in the dark. I mean, I can handle anything. Insidious, Human Centipede, not a favorite. Saw, you name it, I've watched it. But Behemicon just seemed a little, out of my comfort level. It took a while to work up to admitting that I really didn't want to go, but May seemed interested and, Connor was insistent, so I said yes. I kept telling myself that Behemicon was safe, that no matter what, the people who deemed the space safe enough were professionals. The government would shut this down if it wasn't safe. It was fine. It was going to be fine. It's fine. It was deemed safe. It is safe. I was going to be with my friends anyway. We're going to be perfectly fine. And if I don't feel comfortable, that's fine. It's fine. I'm a really big fan of Silent Hill. I've been obsessing over it in particular lately, so I decided I'd cosplay in comfort as Heather Mason. I couldn't be entirely sure over the venue for our upcoming convention, but I could be confident in what I was wearing. The day of, I struggled with the wig for a little bit, but finally got my hair under the cap and pinned everything down nice and snug. When we took photos, at least I could say I'd braved the back rooms and I looked great doing it. Connor was pretty much ready before anyone, and before we left. May was fussing over her costume in the bathroom, though neither Connor or I could make out what she was saying. Well, she came out, cheerful as ever, of course, and we packed in the car to head over to the convention of the century. We passed a couple of news vans filming the room-sized building, with an impossibly long line of people stepping into it. It was a strange sight that both inspired my imagination and ultimately made me nervous. Once we parked, we took our place in line, and I could hear my heart beating in my ears as I thought each footstep I was leaving behind very well could be my last. No. Stop thinking that, Anna. You're fine. It's fine. The space is going to be fine. You'll get through this. May could see I was getting anxious again, and she, without explicitly mentioning anything, managed to distract me with talk of slasher films. We had gone off on a long tangent, while Connor stayed focused on getting closer and closer to the threshold, until finally, we were next. I froze again for a minute, and I relied on May to offer some encouragement, but this time, May was frozen too. We both stayed that way for what felt like an eternity, before Connor charged in as fast as he could, and we, not wanting to separate our group, well, we chased in after him. Upon entry, it was a little better than I expected. It was an uncommonly huge room with an iconic, sickly yellow wall. It was filled with people, not so bad, and the buzz of their excitement. And it made me feel a lot better. Didn't change the fact we were truly in the back rooms now, but it did feel more normal-ish, I guess. May seemed to forget about Behemicon's true location and she seemed generally excited about the con itself. I couldn't read Connor, though. I couldn't tell if he was, starstruck from actually being here or, if he was downright disappointed, to be honest. May wanted to catch some voice actor panel, which wasn't for another hour or so. So after gawking and filming for a little bit, we took to shopping. May was like a hummingbird, just going from vendor to vendor. I just got a couple things, to document the trip myself. It was at this point that more people began to leave to go to the other rooms of Behemicon. The whole space became emptier and emptier. I started to feel a little overwhelmed. I always try to distract myself whenever my nerves get the best of me. Fake it till you make it, But now the reality was really starting to catch up to me. We were here, in the back rooms of all places. Every following second felt like I was treading on a minefield. Every step I took felt like it wouldn't hit the ground and I'd just be transported to some other world, separated from my friends. I tried looking around at the things that made me feel safe, security, the caution tape marking off clearly unstable areas. Connor and May. The panel May wanted to go to was a blur. I couldn't focus on the panelists or what they were saying, really anything. I just kept feeling like any second I could fall through the floor and just end up on a missing persons poster back home. Maybe I just need to eat. Hey, Connor, let's go to the cafe. I need to chill a little bit,
You guys go. I want to stay and look at the art.
We can all help you look after lunch. Let's just not separate, please.
It's fine. It's all safe.
Please, Con. I really need to take a minute, okay? I tend to mumble when my brain gets like this, but he managed to hear me over the crowd's excited buzz. May found a restaurant in another room of Behemicon that was made entirely of brick. It was like weird and out of place, but was substantially smaller than most of the other bizarre rooms in the back rooms so far, and kind of reminded me of a couple really nice Italian places I like. We got a nice spot and made our order. Me? I ordered fettuccine alfredo. May got a burger and, Con got a burrito. It was really a nice moment as we waited for the food. We were sitting inside somewhere that looked pretty normal, despite the entire thing being made of brick. Well, we were drinking ice-cold water, enjoying each other's company. It was nice.
So how'd you guys like Behemicon so far?
It's fine. It's just a lot,
I like it. It's like the biggest con I've ever been to.
That's exactly what it is.
Can we not mention how big it is? Oh, fuck, ouch. My wig's giving me some problems.
Oof, that's why I didn't wear one.
Despite every nice bit of this lunch, I couldn't ignore my rising anxiety at the thought that we were dining in the back rooms. Is the pressure different down here or something? Anyway, no? People have gone missing due to this place. Were they ever found? Are people still going missing? Is that still a thing?
How do you know it's not up here?
Okay, stop. I'm actually asking seriously. What would they even do if one of us were to no-clip into another part of the rooms? Oh my god, would anybody sue them? Oh, would anybody care? There's no way this is actually all just fine, right? I mean, it can't be safe. It sure is. It can't be legal. I mean, there has to be more to this. Is something bigger going on behind the scenes? Oh my god.
Are you all right, Anna?
Honestly, no. I mean, I'm super glad we came. I'm really glad we came. I'm glad I get to say that I've been here, but I feel like the unfathomable can happen at literally any moment,
Do you want to leave?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even really want to do the whole weekend anymore. I silently thanked May for asking. I don't know if I could have formed the words properly myself. Truth time? I wanted to get out of here. I wanted to drive back to our hotel and go eat in an actual Italian restaurant and watch scary movies with my best friends for the rest of the weekend. I'd rather go to work than finish Behemicon. And I work in retail, that is a nightmare. I felt a hand on my shoulder as I looked over to Connor, whose eyes told me he had an idea. Honestly, hated whenever he did that. He always gets like an idea when everybody else is kind of done for the day, but he's so convincing, and we always end up doing it. I braced myself and absolutely prepared to tell him a big fat no.
Well, now, hold on. We've got a few more hours left of the con for today, so let's just go do things. It's the only time we'll ever be in the back rooms. Why not milk every second of it? Afterwards, we'll go straight home, and that'll be it. Just finish today, we'll ditch the rest of the week.
You promise, Con? We'll leave after we finish today. Like, that's it?
Of course. Trust me. Years from now, we'll look back and say, hey, we went to the very first Behemicon. Some more shopping might help you relax.
We stared at each other in anticipation, and just then, our plates were placed before us. Took that as a sign that I should consider it while I put food in my stomach. Of course, first, I took off my wig, ruffled my fingers through my hair. Oh, God, much better. The Alfredo was, well, admittedly, it was pretty all right. Like, wasn't the best, of course, but really, what could I expect? It was sustenance, though, and it did make me feel a little better. I decided to take Connor up on his idea. We'd see what we ought to see for the next few hours of Behemicon, and then just never come back again. It sounded fair. After all, Con was a huge nerd for this kind of thing, and had the gall to withstand it. We finished lunch and attended another panel. I actually fell asleep during this one, and I woke with a start when May gently tapped my shoulders, and I remembered we were still at Behemicon. She wanted me to enter some raffle thing with her, and I let her drag me all the way over to it and enter my name for me. I ended up actually winning some mystery box that, I had absolutely no intrigue for, so I gifted it to her after witnessing her pouting for not winning. Can't help it, you know? I was officially emotionally exhausted, and probably had been since I had woken up from my nap, but I promised Connor I'd do this for him. I wasn't going to ruin an experience for my friend. Couldn't do that to Connor, and I really certainly couldn't do that to May. God, I did wish that they thought that way for me, though. But I guess they were excited, and I was outnumbered. Thought it was unspoken. They seemed to feed off of each other's wonder for the land. I was glad we were back in Artist Alley, at least. May was dragging around to every booth that caught her eye, and Connor trailed around behind us. I was just trying to keep myself thoroughly distracted with merch. I oohed and ahed with May at stickers and pens, and I even got a signed CD full of covers of Silent Hill soundtracks by Mew, the Dark Piano, from YouTube. Absolutely amazing guy. We had a moment where he recognized my cosplay, and honestly, that was a good enough distraction for the moment. Time had gone faster than we thought, though, and before we knew it, the voice over the intercom was announcing there was 1 hour left until Behemicon closed. We turned around and looked for Connor, but we didn't see him anywhere. He'd wandered off somewhere, and honestly, that really worried me. May told me not to worry, that he couldn't have gone far, and that we would eventually bump into him, so we started going down each row, really careful not to separate from each other in the crowd of people. We searched row after row, but we couldn't find anything that resembled a Ghostbuster. Time was running out, and I was panicking. Where is he?
Maybe he's already out?
You think?
Well, maybe not. He did really want to spend every second he could in here.
Oh, you're right. He wanted like art, right? Like, prints or whatever.
Yeah, so he must be here.
They just announced Behemicon was closing in 10 minutes. I mean, everyone else is starting to leave. Fuck, even the vendors.
I still think he's here.
I think we should leave.
But what if he gets stuck in here?
Oh no. No, I can't think of that. No.
Well, wait, maybe it should be fine, right? Behemicon is safe. He'll be here tomorrow morning, maybe?
Okay. Let's try to think like Connor. Okay? He'd think that we left, right?
Maybe he'd think to stay in place until someone found him.
This isn't the wilderness, May.
Well, it's not exactly a normal place either.
Look, I think he would think that he would see us outside, right?
Okay, fine. Let's go outside. I'm sure it's gonna work out.
Okay, let's just get out of here. We made our way to the exit, past the zigzagging staircase of the panel rooms and the large main room that was even more disturbing now that it was completely empty. I shuddered at the sight and closed my eyes, wishing to fast forward to the drive home. A second later, I opened my eyes, wishing not to fall through some unchecked hole in the floor. After a moment, I saw it. A sight that shook me to my core. Just before the exit, several large wall panels rolled into place and closed in on us. And when I turned around, May was gone. I hated this. 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 Where was everybody? More importantly, where was May? There's no way the con people were so careless as to just close the doors without everybody accounted for. Right? Right? Wait. What if it was some kind of a conspiracy? What if this was supposed to happen? No. This is beyond worse than I ever could have imagined. And now I'm just stuck here. Oh my God, but poor May. Oh, at least I was in a section of Behemicon. I mean, things are less than ideal. I was still in a familiar area that people would occupy tomorrow, you know? But I had no idea where May was. She couldn't have gone far, right? I had to go look for her. I know I should have stayed where I was. I know that, but I mean, May could have been hurt and scared. I took off in the direction we came from, calling out to her. I yelled and I screamed at the top of my lungs even, but I just never heard anything back. I began breaking down. The emptiness of the back rooms was really starting to get to me. And being here all alone was a new level of horror all in itself. But with little options, I decided to take off running even farther. I was going to find May if it killed me, and we were going to get out of this together. I soon realized that it didn't seem like I was running in Behemicon anymore at all. I hadn't taken any detours or special turns, but yet there was no longer any tables or booths or traces of normal human life. What I found instead, among those sickening yellow walls, was a lot more disturbing. In the corner of this new room was a clump of limbs. Living arms, all connected through the corner. Some were possibly long, and they moved and reached with unsettling cracking sounds as they groped about. Oh my God, I nearly fainted right then and there, but I had to find my friend. May? I called out. Big mistake. As soon as the word left my mouth, the limbs skittered along the wall. That caused me to jump, but I held my scream. I didn't think it would be able to leave its corner, but it didn't seem like it was coming down to the floor either. I just had to stay quiet and ignore the horror. Pretend it was a video game or something, you know? I kept on walking. Soon I saw another clump of limbs along the wall, reaching out. God, it was such a disgusting visual. I crept past them and noticed the room starting to get smaller and smaller. I passed clump after clump until I was just before a long, narrow hallway. Entire leagues of limbs outstretched from the ceiling. I squealed internally and breathed in super deep for what I was gonna do. Slowly, I bent down and began crawling. The floor was sticky and gross. I wanted to vomit, but God, did it beat getting grabbed by those limbs. The hallway was so elongated, I wondered if I'd ever even make it as I kept crawling. If I died here, would I become a clump of arms and legs? Oh my God. I can't even help but wonder if they were even human. I didn't know what to make of this night anymore. I'd love to say it was a nightmare, or, you know, perhaps I'm kind of in some sort of a simulation. Government experiment. Are aliens and monsters real? Are they the real reason behind the back rooms? All this thinking made me mad at Connor. How dare he leave us? Now we were in this mess. In fact, you know what? How dare the staff of Behemicon? I bet this was all just a trap to sacrifice us to like, God knows what. Oh no. What if it's already gotten May? It was a possibility. One I really didn't want to accept. In any case, I had to keep going. I had to get out of this horror hand hall. It began to smell of pus and other undesirables. And once I'd reached the end, I'd call out for May. Just once it was safe. And then I'd continue looking for her. The hands began to worry me, though. I looked back at some point, and it looked like I had come from a pitch black nowhere. And I swore I saw some of the hands, as if they'd abandoned the walls and took to the floor, skittering across as fast as they could, which I was thankful was not as fast as me. I couldn't look back after that. I kept feeling them on my legs, my back, my shoulders, touching me. Ugh. I started panicking and kicking off the imaginary hands that hadn't even caught up to me yet. I couldn't help it. I kept kicking and kicking. I felt them everywhere. I had to keep crawling. I did not have time to look back. Any millisecond I gave them was death for me, and the hallway started getting smaller and smaller. I couldn't, with all the hands and the small plate like spaces. I just couldn't. I had to get out. And then finally, after what seemed like a few hours of crawling through a nauseatingly sticky carpet floor with my peripherals blurring, with hands reaching for me, I made it. At the end of the hallway was a door. I reached up, careful to not collide in the grasp of a disembodied arm. I grabbed the doorknob and with a quick turn, opened it and stumbled through. It spit me out into the world, it seemed. I was in a restroom somewhere. I really couldn't even believe it at first. I washed my hands, spoke to myself in the mirror, counted my fingernails over and over and over again. I curled up against the wall for a minute, and every time I turned my head, I kept fearing that I would see a cluster of hands in the corners. After a while, I stepped out of the restroom and learned that I was in a hotel restaurant. It was the middle of the day, with natural lighting. Lots of people and regular happenings. I can't believe it. I think I really got out. No illusions like all those horrifying videos on the internet. I was out. I was here. I learned from the restaurant staff that I was in Massachusetts. Quite a ways from home, but I knew just who to call. You, of course. I thought you sounded different over the phone earlier, but more than that, you sounded more shocked than I'd anticipated. Even more surprisingly, you booked me a flight. I didn't know why you were so detailed with me on what to do, but things are so different. I can't wait for you at this bench anymore. Is something going on?
No need to wait. Hang up and turn around.
What?
Anna, I know it's a lot to take in, but it's so good to see you.
What's a lot to take in? What do you...
Just look at me.
You look different, Con.
I'm older now, Anna.
And what do you mean?
You were gone for a long time. I felt so stupid. I was selfish back then. I should have been there for you instead of stealing some stupid poster.
But I wasn't gone this long.
Listen, I came back here every year hoping you and May would show up. Every year.
Is May here?
No.
Do we know anything about her situation?
It's strange. I have a theory, though. There's something weird about the posters. They're the same style from different vendors every year. Depict all kinds of off-putting subjects. I'll have to show you it when we get back home.
Connor,
Yeah?
how long has it been?
It'll be Behemicon's 25th anniversary. In 2 days.